we'll do the big chunks. We'll do audience selection next. We'll see where that discussion brings us. And this has been great. Thank you so much so far for all the feedback. It's awesome. It's better than I don't know what we're expecting. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to talk about that. It's the Chinese, they are changing the price constantly. And when I say constantly, I make my orders.
Right.
In the middle, they change the price from $4 to $7.
Right.
So I can't delegate that. And I must be very focused, very concentrated when I'm making the order.
Yeah.
Change the prices, they change the shipping prices, they change the price of the phone.
You have to speak with these guys.
No, I use the supplier. So I don't know how people use people assistance, how do you use it?
What did you say? I didn't hear what you
You
said.
have to speak with that supplier. You have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 suppliers.
Yeah, and I do. I have them in WhatsApp. Not always. You are mad, you can do that. I'm sorry, in 2 days it will be
logging here for some
Wow.
Right.
And you have to find suppliers to send your orders in bulk. And to
That's
be good suppliers.
That's solved.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fulfillment to see, what ideas people have for solving that problem.
I will show you a couple.
It's very hard. I have a list of 5 suppliers and I'm always changing them. But it's bad business for them. They are crazy. I'm telling them, you are going to lose money because I'm going to change supplier because you did this. It seems they don't understand. They only say, oh, I'm sorry in 2 days. I don't care about the 2 days.
No, maybe they're not partners. Maybe they're just guys that go to the market and get the things.
Just the middleman.
Yeah, I believe they are.
You have to find suppliers.
You mean manufacturers?
Manufacturers.
The overlap for Shopify notifies you every time there's a product change in price or anything. They'll send an email to you and it's on your back end.
No, but this is different.
No, I'm just saying.
They change the price while I'm making the order.
Yeah.
In November, you can add a percentage to the price, I think.
I don't want to do that because if you change the price from $4 to $17 and I double it,
Yeah.
I'm selling it for $24.
You can't do that.
And your ads, I have to see the process and I give the product. You can't do that. You will die.
I think the best solution there, once you've got a winning product, is really to buy it in bulk.
Yeah.
Buy 1,000 units, 2,000 units, 5,000 units. I mean, that's what we're doing with the warehouse.
Yeah, but if you send it worldwide, you can't do that. If you're sending it worldwide, you can't do it.
Worldwide.
Yeah, if you're sending it only in US, it's okay. But
Yeah.
if you're sending to Australia, Singapore, or anywhere, you can't do it.
Well, maybe we can use our office in China.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
That's
I didn't hear you say.
We got fulfillment in Europe.
Yes. Right.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's one of the. I absolutely want to have a big conversation about the film because we've got a lot of opportunity and we're not exactly sure how best to leverage it. We've got a warehouse and staff in China, and we got the warehouse and staffing in the United States. So I mean, there is a way to leverage that in some way. I don't know what the best way to do.
You have to use that.
So, huh?
You have to use that.
Well, no, I know we can. I'm suggesting that there might be a way that we can help others use it too. And so that's but we have to figure out how that makes sense, like from a monetary.
I have a basic supplier that sends stuff for me, and I have some other who sends 5 or different sets of products,
Right.
and they charge per unit. And I can help them to send it with a packet or not. You can get the products, and you can charge us with it's $4, $5 for a packet, or $4.50 for Chinese registered mail or something. Right. And you can get money per product, and you might make it. Yeah. And it would be profitable for you, and we can find a supplier to send our stuff.
Yeah.
open, well, one thing that's happened to me just in the last couple of days, and I think goes back to our finding winning product and this conversation. So we're trying to consolidate suppliers at the moment because we've got loads of suppliers and some of them sell the same products and that kind of thing. And so I'm speaking to one guy at the moment and I've asked him, look, I said, here's our top 5, 6 selling products. Can you find them? And he's done that. But what I also asked him is, what are his best selling products? And by finding out what his best selling products, it's given me ideas for 2 or 3 more niche stuff.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm doing that, but then the payment I've done that with one of the very good supplier of mine. So this guy was sending it out on time, and I didn't have too many issues at all, not any issue at all. So now I'm paying him through PayPal, and he sources all my products, and he's giving me a much better rate than the other suppliers. So actually my profit margin is now gone up. It just happened about 10 days back. So he sources all my 10 winning products, and then he's also giving me a much better price than that.
That's all in China?
Yeah, all in China.
And you pay him monthly, daily, how do you pay?
I pay him every day. My VA sends the entire list of the orders and the amount, and then I transfer it to his PayPal account.
So in theory, this guy is running around to factories right there in China, and he's just getting the products cheaper than you can get them on AliExpress, and then marking them up a little bit, and you guys are sharing in the, basically sharing in the efficiency there.
Right.
How did you find him?
He was one of the suppliers for my winning, one of my winners.
Okay, so
and then
yeah.
He's still in AliExpress. He does have a store, but then I'm paying because I think PayPal just charges him about 3%, and AliExpress charges him 8%. So that so obviously he's also making money out of that 5%.
Well, that's very. I mean, that's super interesting. I mean, we have a whole staff in China. They don't do that, but they sure as hell could because they currently source private label products and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because I don't know, or you probably get lucky because I tried that approach with several of my suppliers.
Right.
And it's like talking to a brick.
Yeah, but you're not.
It's very difficult.
You're not Chinese.
Yes.
I mean, we've got Chinese people in China. And it seems to have a different. It's a different conversation.
I have one of these, there are levels. You have to talk to find the supplier. You have to work. Go in every store, chat.
Maybe we should use it as a test case and see just say, hey, since you're having trouble doing that, what if we threw that over the wall?
My suppliers are great. They are very good. They are very, very good response, but they do exactly what they are used to do. When I ask them to change anything, it's a disaster.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's a complete disaster. I have a product that I needed to be changed a bit to make sense to the United States market. Forget about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have 2 products at the moment that we need to find new suppliers for. So if you're looking for more guinea pigs, then we're certainly
Okay. All right.
And another thing we did as well, I think it helped with the suppliers when we called them. On AliExpress, you write in the comments field, this is a drop ship product.
Yeah.
We have multiple AliExpress accounts, so we put our company name in there. So when we called them and we said, this is our company, they knew all these accounts and all these orders were ours. So it wasn't just, so they knew we were a very big customer of theirs. So obviously we weren't trying to talk to us then because they knew the type of business we were doing.
They know that. In my case, they also know that like everyone in this room, I place hundreds, thousands of orders every month. And I still can't do that.
Well, let's see what we can make of that model because it's interesting.
One of the things about audience selection that I'm always interested in is when setting up your audiences, how many different overlaps do you have, and what size is your target audience that you start marketing to? How have you done that, Satish?
I actually found whenever I have a winner, the size of the audience really does matter. all my audience size are 10 million and above, and I mean, or maybe I've been lucky per se, and even if it's a, I mean, I don't recall where I read this, and again in one of the 100K posts. Even if the niche belongs to a woman, initially what I was doing is I was targeting only women. So I now target both men and women, and found men also purchasing it for their women in their lives or
wedding pieces. It was a guy.
Yeah. So and then Facebook also checks out that in case the men are not, not too interested, they start showing it only to the men. But it's 10 million above, and then there's times when I've done about 15, 20 million also, and I start at 24 age and 64. I don't go beyond 64, and I don't do below 24 because obviously I believe that these guys below 24 can't afford, or maybe don't have a credit card. I don't know. I mean, that's my presumption, because in India, people below 24 usually won't buy. So I assume that and probably they would be more tech savvy. A 25-year-old wouldn't want to go. So 24 to 64.
What they do is that they share the link with their fathers, and they tell their mother, buy me this. I see it.
Yeah, I get those emails from my daughter.
Buy me this. I want this. Buy me this.
Yeah. It might be my best audience is 18 to 24 is my most profitable. So.
Really?
Wow.
So it depends on the niche.
That's 24 to 64.
Yeah, quit. They love to click.
About 10 million and above. I mean, I've never done anything less than 10
What
million.
about overlaps? Do you try to just get 2 overlaps?
3 overlaps. I do 3 overlaps. Include, I mean, one of my niches, in sense, it's so, I mean, it's sub niche. So I don't even bother overlapping there. I mean, and so I just.
So I mean, when you say you're targeting people that like American Airlines and they also like Delta.
United Airlines and
so it's that overlapping group of people.
So like when I was doing the hiking stuff, we'd do somebody who liked the Appalachian Trail and someone who liked the Pacific Coast Trail.
At the same time, and that audience in the middle, the overlaps. You know when you're setting up the ads and you've got you can set like they must target this, they must like that, and that, and that.
Yeah. Cycling.
That's right.
There's one thing which I found, I mean, it worked for me, and just check it out. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you must be doing it. Earlier I used to spend a lot of time on research in terms of audience insights, find out the affinity score, and it used to take, I mean, for every niche, it used to take me nothing less than 8 to 10 hours trying to find out all the fan pages. So if you ask me cats, I think I must be having 350, 360 Facebook pages along with the affinity scores and stuff like that. But I don't do that anymore. So I just take 3, 4 Facebook pages which are doing well, and then I go ahead with whatever Facebook is suggesting. And it really does work with me. I mean, in sense, Facebook knows, and it starts, if you notice, I'm sure all of you must have noticed, it starts suggesting, okay, click this. And I keep clicking that, and then take the biggest ones, and then do overlap of 3 times, 3 largest audience sizes, and it's working. I mean, I don't use audience insights anymore. I mean, it takes really long, a huge amount of time.
I'd be curious to see just in the room what percentage uses lookalike audiences versus actually targeting.
Basically all.
Because I mean, I don't even target anymore unless I'm like truly scaling to a point where, I mean, everything's just like lookalike audience, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. 6%, okay, add to cart, and then keep working my way up, and that's how I'm scaling now, versus even just...
But do you still run the ads just to regular interests as well?
No.
Just lookalike?
Because my lookalike audiences, if I put them all together, it's 10 million.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, let me just focus on the 1%ers, that worked, 2%ers, that worked, 3%ers, that worked, all the way up until, and then I did okay, add to cart 1, add to cart 2, add to cart 3, work my way up that ladder as well. What I find, it's kind of ironic, add to cart 2% crushes it for me. That little segment just crushes it for me. I don't know why. Yeah, add to cart 2%, like. But I'm just saying that's how I'm scaling now versus what it was, and it's scaled because I took all the buyers that I had in my Shopify store. I downloaded all the emails, or Mark did it. Downloaded all the emails, and we created a lookalike audience off the buyers and the ad cards. So that's how we came up with that lookalike audience, and I don't even target anymore because it's more advanced now. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, if I'm beginning, it's different, but
now.
Well, or if you're going to start a new niche, obviously.
Right, obviously I got to start, if I'm starting a new niche from scratch,
Yeah.
I got to figure it out. But if I, since, you know, now I'm down the road a ways, you know, so now I can figure it out. I was just curious to see.
Yeah.
So are the ad cart lookalike audiences far better than the purchase lookalike audiences?
No, purchase 1% is the best, number 2 is the second best. So like if I don't even, you know, I normally would say I was scaling up like 1%, 2%, 3%. Now I go 1% purchase, 2% add to cart to the next one because I know it really converts well, and then I start filling in the rest as I go. Like
visits, no?
What's that?
Visits, only visits.
No, I haven't done the visits. I mean, I could. I just haven't.
Need to.
What's that?
Don't need to, so try it out though.
Yeah, actually.
When you do the ad cart and the purchase, do you do that product level? You have a particular product, ad cart for that product, and look like for that product.
So it depends. So like it depends. So I do have lookalike audiences for purchases of a specific product. That's like say because I kind of I have a bigger site, kind of a bigger niche that has many aspects of the same within that niche. However, they kind of overlap a little bit. However, if I had let's call it if I had a Samsung phone that I was selling versus the Apple phone over here, and I wanted to focus some Samsung products to that phone, I would use the lookalike audience for that particular product. You know, they purchased. I sold 1,000 Samsung phones. I want to sell them headphones that match that phone. I'm gonna use that purchase lookalike audience for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way up. Add to cart 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way up.
When you do that to add to cart, when you're choosing the objective, are you choosing add to cart or are you still on conversions?
Still on conversions. Everything. My objective for the ad is always a purchase. Always. I mean, there's people that do add to cart. Great. I don't. Stop me. Not me.
I would either.
I only try once with one product. I use that to cart in the catalog because it was not converting at all, and my Facebook rep told me instead of purchase use add to cart and carousel, and it worked. But it's not a winner. It makes a couple of sales per week.
I think the add to cart is more for when you haven't got much data on your pixel. Because you're getting more people do that than the purchase.
Once your pixel starts to get seasoned, it's a lot easier to make sales, I find.
I target everything I find related to my products in everything. I mean everything.
Yeah, I mean.
How do you sort of research new audiences? Do you have any?
I don't. What I do is I put like he said, I put the niche, the general niche in the audience selection, and I start and then I do a list of everything Facebook suggests me. I take this to Notepad, and then I start targeting. I don't do overlap. I start targeting each and every one of those niches, each and every one. 10, 20, 15, 100, 200. I target every audience. Yeah, every audience Facebook suggests me, and then I let it run, and Facebook will tell me what sells and what doesn't sell.
So you can see you can see which interest out of these 20, 30, or 40 different interests you're running is converting the best,
Yes,
and then you just run with that one.
70%. If I create 100 headsets, 30 are going to be winners to make sales. The other 70 I just stop. So I pay the price for this finding, but then I recover it when I start scaling.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it. It's just a little bit more expensive to begin with.
You can start with $1 per day.
Yeah.
So.
Anybody else doing anything differently for audiences?
And interest and the likes, many to scale. I use interest, and I don't care about the overlap. I like overlap because people have to see the ad many times to buy it. So if the overlap doesn't hurt your account, it's okay. If it hurts your account, that's what I was telling before. If you have many campaigns in a specific niche,
in the same audiences, you may have an overlap problem that pulls your account down. Your account has an overlap score, and each campaign has an overlap score. You can't see it. Only the Facebook rep can see it, and you have to know that. So if you go up in ad spend, and you have too many campaigns. Now what I do is I have a few campaigns, and I have 11 campaigns now. 11, 12, 10, I'm like that. I used to have 100, 150.
Yeah.
Now it's one product, one page, and in my campaign it might be 60 different ad sets, 100 different ad sets. Lookalikes, people that like my page, 1, 2, 3%. Add to carts, 1, 2, 3. Buyers of January, 1, 2, 3. Buyers of December, buyers, all buyers. Many lookalikes, many interests. One campaign. The campaign has to have, they say, I don't know if it's true, that has to get 25 conversions to in one day. So you have to have in a campaign 25 sales in one day, so that Facebook catches your campaign and says that we have to optimize your campaign. They have this metric. You know, I don't know if it's true. The Facebook reps says that it's true, and I try for every campaign to have 25 conversions per day. So I use one campaign. In my campaign, I might duplicate the ad sets like they are. $25, one interest, 5 times duplicate. I don't care. The overlap doesn't matter. You know, inside the campaign. And so if you get the 25 sales, it optimizes for the next day, and it goes like that. If you have a product that is $200, you can't have 25 sales in a day. So you can't go that, but I have some big, high-ticket products that I can't go to 25 sales. But I use the same approach. I have one campaign for the product, and inside this campaign,
That makes sense, though. Have you guys seen that? Where you hire?
Yeah, like when you're running around with like between 50 and 60 conversions on one campaign, that campaign tends to like start producing revenue at like 300, 400%, where the other ones are still like 150, 200%. So I mean, I've seen it for sure.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think Facebook does a lot of things, much more than AdWords that sort of make sense.
Yeah.
So please have that in mind. So if you heard guess what makes sense, you're probably going to bring it back.
Yeah, and we've been doing a lot of stuff too, where we're taking the scaling. I mean, it's just speaking of scaling period, or even running the interest. It's like when you have a campaign that's working, the ultimate goal is to get it to in front of the most eyeballs for the cheapest price possible. And if I know for a fact that my product sells to 35 to 45 or 54-year-old people, we talked about this a bunch. If I know for a fact my product sells to that age group, and it outperforms everything else that I've got, and I can get it to run just to that demographic only, males 35 to 54, and no interest whatsoever, my cost per or my CPM costs are like literally a third. That way, and as long as it's a performing ad, correct? Because I'm not targeting anybody, but as long as it's a performing ad and you can get it to run to that demographic and produce sales, the sky's the limit. You're going to absolutely crush it. And that's how come that one product the ad spoke to everybody, so it didn't matter what the niche was.
That's a really good point, though, that everybody should probably do. I think for optimization, is at least try that. Like for every winning product you have all these interests, you have all this. Try to get it down to just, sex and age, and see if it is profitable. For sure. Well, the reason it's so much cheaper. Well, you can do lookalikes in that, but I guess even that would be more expensive. But it's because it's so much cheaper to run those kinds of campaigns.
Yeah. So an example would be like, let's say my lookalike audience right now. I'm running campaigns right now I think it's about $11 per thousand. Okay. But if I ran just a gender and age range only, no interest at all, it'd be about $4 to $5 per thousand CPM.
Matured and Facebook knows how to optimize it.
For sure. That plus I mean, you've done the work. You've paid ahead of time. You know where it's converting. You go, okay, I got my data. I'm good. Let's run it. Let's go.
On a
I'd be curious to see if the cost is even lower, or are they going to charge you just to target that area? I don't know.
Well, you're just targeting the United States otherwise.
That's all I've been doing. Yeah. So normally it'd be like, you know, like I said, males 35 to 40, 54, you know, and period.
Would be just do 50, you know, do it by state.
Right. Yeah.
And just see what happens. Like, is that a way to scale? Is that,
right.
You know, if you got males in that age range, break that up into.
Yeah, maybe if I created an individual ad per state that said, like, hey, you know, Californian or hey, Texan or whatever.
I mean, we also see that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I wish they had a nice little token you can drop in there instead of creating 50 handwritten ads.
I have done this. You have to test it. You have to test it. Other products work. I have the 3 states of other products work, other assets work, other didn't. Interesting. What I find is that I have to go $1 million and above, $1 million to 2 million. That's the best audience, I think. If it's too small, it doesn't go, because your ad spend will go up and don't have results.
My Facebook rep was always telling me to do that, to target my ads to a specific region and make the ad relevant to that region.
Yeah.
Grab something from the region.
Right.
That's what they tell them to say.
Yeah, because it's like
you have to test it.
I have reps as well. They tell you stuff that's not always in your best interest.
Almost never. What they tell you, it's almost never works.
Yeah.
What Brad was saying, it's very important for me. I tested it several times because you have to do that, and everyone does face-to-face tell me to do it.
Yeah.
But every time I do it, my cost increases. Every time I do a segments, even when I know that this is the segment that is making all the sales,
right.
Every time I do a segments, my cost increases. So now I don't do it anymore. And I tell myself, Facebook knows what it's doing because they show me and I don't do, but it's interesting because it should be working.
Well, are you doing the age segments with other interests, or just by itself? Like what?
No, I was doing I had a winner campaign. So I did break it into age segments. I put to the segments that were selling.
Yeah.
It was selling. It kept selling, but the cost increased.
Yeah.
So now I run it. The only segment I do now is the placement segment. I run it for mobile, desktop, and right column.
That's on that right column. Does anybody make money on right column ads?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Some works.
I guess for testing. I was just looking at a blog post from Alice Presto last week, who have tons of data.
Yes.
And they said that if they were asked one thing, they said retarget ads on right column. Generally, everything's niche specific. They said, but they said if you say one thing, say retarget on right column. I tried it on one product. It did work somewhat all right. But up until that, very hard. I found it very difficult to make money in right column.
Yeah, it's not my best placement.
No.
DPA ads only.
What?
I do DPA ads only on the right column and newsfeed. DPA, dynamic product ads.
Dynamic product,
You have to set it up one time.
Yeah.
And it will, the person that goes to your website will see in the right column. You have, I have in one campaign, one DPA for the news feeds and one other ad set for the right column. So if someone goes to your site, the pixel will write what product he saw, and he will see it in the right column. You don't have to do anything else for retargeting. If you have a very big winner, you can try stuff. But the DPA works very good, and you have to set it up only once. You just you go the budget up or down. If I have my DPA in ad spend $100 per day, it gets better performance. If I go to $200 for the ad spend that I have now, I might have $8 cost per conversion if I am at $100. If I go to $200, my cost per conversion goes to $18, and I have it in $250, so that people will see it again and again and again, and will be like, I don't want it. You know, I don't care that it goes up. I want them to see it again, again, again. And you have to set it only once. You have to set it up only once, and there are days that it goes times 10. Your DPA.
So we're just updating because the DPA pulls pictures out of your feed, and our pictures are rubbish. So I thought if this goes up into a carousel DPA, it's not the best way to test. I just don't think they're crap pictures, but we have it sorted.
There are 2 products that they show when they visit your site. That's what they will see. Yeah. Then that might cause them to to click and buy. Yeah. Because if they see it once, maybe they don't buy. If they see it twice, if they see it 7 times, they probably buy. I think they say that 7 times is the magic number. 7 times.
When you say you set it up once, where do you set it up? You mean Shopify? Where do you
In Facebook.
Facebook, you just set it up once?
Yeah, you have to, it's very easy. It's very easy.
You import your product catalog. You create a product catalog in Facebook, and then you can connect the feed so that it uploads. And it dynamically, as you load more products onto your website, it'll update the catalog on Facebook so that it knows it's associating, which it knows. I mean, Facebook has to know that this cup of water has a code, has a whatever. So there's a constant link there. So yeah. But once you set that up, like Nico said, 7 times, you only have to do it once. Only once. 8 times.
Well, how many of you do a product catalog now?
If you use Shopify that,
how do you do it?
Well, how many now?
Gives you the
because I'd have to done now.
Do you use a targeting app? Do you use a targeting app? You target app or shoelace?
I think it's a question of whether people are using Shopify. Yeah, so just show of hands, how many people are using the product catalog on Facebook? So,
it's very important, I think.
Yeah. And then I actually had a question about retargeting too. Is there anybody not doing retargeting?
Double your sales tomorrow.
Sorry?
You'll double your sales tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, there's two main types of retargeting, right? So one is kind of creating that custom audience like we've done, blah, 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 and we're really retargeting to those. And that's static. That's really just like running an ad, right? That's static retargeting to people that have hit this page or add to carts or whatever it is. And then there's the dynamic product feeds, which Nikos was talking about. And that's totally powerful and cheap and effective, etc. Do it.
So if you're not doing that, do that.
You are leaving, you'll be astonished when you look at your numbers.
WordPress platform? Just curious.
That's a good question.
Oh, the guy that's not doing retargeting.
So what did you take away from today?
Well, no, I have a WordPress store, and I was doing the static retargeting.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, as an overall, this is the discussion. The biggest challenge I've had is just learning and really being able to scale and optimize Facebook ads. I still find a little bit of this to be kind of like, now what did you do? That kind of stuff. Yeah. But it's a challenge. It's a big challenge. Yeah. More than the other parts of the program.
It beats taking digits, yeah. I think this is one of the most challenging things to sort of, it's not like, you can't just sort of say, do this, then do this, then do this. It's a little bit more circular and iterative, which makes it more challenging. But it's one of those things where you just dive in.
Yeah,
and I think that's what everybody's had experience with.
And the testing process again applies.
Yeah.
So you test that and you test that and you test that and figure out what works.
Yeah. And things that work today might not work in a month.
Sure. Yeah. Although I have to say, coming from, when I started, it was AdWords. And, the volatility of things that went on with AdWords were horrible. I was talking, I've told this story a million times. I wake up, $1 million business disappears. And just by the time I was sleeping, and that was before I had my coffee. It was not a good morning. And that was just one little piece of that. But Facebook has been very consistent. I mean, not their the interface changed every 5 seconds, but just the rules, kind of the rules of engagement, the results you can get, the strategies you apply, the logic. They seem to be much more, sort of taking their time about the changes they make and implement, and not being reactive. And probably they learned a lot from AdWords and everything like that. So
they're very good.
So I'm hopeful that it will continue to be that way. It's a much more stable platform.
Just in the methods, in the scaling process. 3 months ago, you could go up in budget, and you could have the same result. Now you can't do it. What works changes.
It does.
In the algorithm, but in the whole process is the same. It's staying.
Going back to regularity, I only have one campaign running in the catalog, but I can say it's a winner. It's hardly profitable. So I'm sure I must be doing something wrong because I can't make that work.
Well, maybe have somebody take a look at it.
Do you use the dynamic product ads or retarget app or something like that?
I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
So now, do you have Shopify?
I have I created a lookalike campaign. I started a catalog campaign, dynamic ads campaign with one ad normally, with the objective to be purchased, and it didn't. Facebook was telling me my audience was less than 1,000 people. I was like, wow, this is not possible.
This is not
so
set up
my
correctly.
Facebook rep came and told me, no. I was talking with a specialist in this area, and he told me you should do this with a carousel and a add to cart objective. And I did. And it started performing, but it's not a winner. No way. That is not working. It's making a few sales. It's profitable, but it's making 3, 4, 5 sales per week, and not more than that.
How many people? What is your reach per day?
Mine?
Your reach. How many impressions do you have? How many people do you see your ads? Your ad? It is not set up correctly. Something is wrong there.
Many people, thousands of people.
Something is not. Do you see it in Facebook?
No, because I'm in Portugal and I'm selling to the United States.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
No, but it's working. When I go to the preview, it's working and it's making sales, so it's working.
You should see it. I see my ads. Because you clicked your product. You went inside your product page. So the pixel fired that you saw that product. You should see your ad. I see it every time. My Facebook rep says that she sees my ads all the time. I see them everywhere. What's going on? I say, is this a bad thing? No, it's a good thing.
I never see my ads. I never.
Well, it's not set up correctly. Something's wrong.
Maybe take it offline and take a look and see. Let's because maybe there's somebody who can take a look at it and say, hey, there's a problem right there.
I'm sure there is.
I can see it if you want.
Yeah. What else audiences do we need to?
Any comments on the relevancy score? Has anyone seen any?
Beginning to look at it the last 2 weeks, start looking at the relevant score. And what's interesting is if you're using that espresso, on the dashboard of a campaign, it gives you a little graph over the time period showing you your relevant score. And I've been trying to match where the relevant score drops to see is my campaign profit going down as well. It does. So what I'm trying to do now is when I see the relevancy score, when I see a campaign going down on relevancy score and going down on profitability, set it up with a new creative, a new image, and go again on the same audience, but with a new creative, new image, and start again.
And that's one of the things that we wanted to build a piece of software to help us do. So maybe it might be something you might be interested in.
The relevant score.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really important. The relevance score is after 500 impressions, they give you a score of your ad. But your ad to optimize needs 3 days. Maybe this ad that has a relevance score, a low relevance score, in that day we want to do good. But if it's a good ad, in 3 days it will optimize.
We're looking at longer term, like usually fairly long term campaigns, or very long term ads.
I have seen ads with 5 relevance score to crash it, and ads with 8 not do well. It's not really important.
And I'd be like, okay, where are my comments at? What's happening in the comments? What did I not get any shares over the last like X amount of days? That's all going to play into that relevancy score and cause it to be more expensive. So if it drops below 5, then it's a problem. Then I would start over, but I wouldn't be, knee-jerk reaction from a 9 to an 8. That's, that's a little bit hasty.
Yeah, I agree with that. When it's a 5, I get concerned because I'm paying more to show my ads.
Per thousand.
And
Your CPM
one way to increase the relevance score is to reply to every comment on your ad. Sure. I do it all the time. Because if I have 20 comments and I reply to those 20 comments, now I have 40 comments.
Right.
Yeah. So how many people are using Ad Espresso? Anyone else uses Ad Manager?
Ad Manager for reports. I use it for reports.
Yeah, but given what Nikos has just said in the last 20 minutes, I'm going to stop using it because Ad Espresso's workflow is all about creating more campaigns. Yeah. And Nikos just has opened my eyes to the fact that if you're not getting 25 sales a day on a campaign, you don't get your campaign optimized by Facebook.
Yeah, because Facebook can't optimize million campaigns. They have to have some score to...
Because our ad Espresso costs multiple campaigns because of Ad Espresso.
But if the campaign name is the same, will Ad Espresso not put it into the same campaign?
Can you create ads inside the same campaign?
Yeah, so the workaround's easy. So you just use Ad Espresso to set the ad up because it's easy, right? And then if I wanted to duplicate like an ad set, I go into the system and duplicate that ad set. Like if I just go straight to my Facebook ads or Power Editor, and it'd be like, okay, duplicate this ad set, whatever I want to do. Create additional ad sets within Ad Espresso. The goal is hopefully someday they keep saying they're going to add the ability to add ad sets to Ad Espresso. They don't have that ability. The only one that does, I hated it, and whatever the name of it was, I can't it was stupid. I didn't like it. But they tried it, I hated it, I went back to Ad Espresso. But if that's a big problem that they have with their software that everybody complains about. Like anybody that's a power user of Ad Espresso has to use the workaround, which is go to their ads manager and duplicate the ad set
The other tool that people use, the Quay.
What's that?
Quay.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. A lot of people use it. This tool does this.
Yeah, it does.
But I just I did an account, couldn't work it.
I hated it. It just wasn't as
intuitive. But you can use it to extrapolate out into bigger campaigns. Like Ad Espresso, I think you can do it 64. You can select different things and it'll turn your ads into 64 different things. With this other one, you can do it.
It's an easier way to create lots of stuff with Ad Espresso. It's an easy way to manage it. If I only have to go in there to create additional ad sets within the same campaign, it's not that big of a deal. It only takes minutes to do that inside the Facebook ad manager or whatever. So, yeah, it just takes that.
Right. Okay, let's start doing that.
Yeah. So you don't have to run away because the reporting in Ad Espresso is just super clean and easy, and it's just nice.
It just looks good, but it doesn't work.
Ad Espresso?
Yeah. I think it looks good at Espresso, but it doesn't work.
It does work.
Didn't work for me. I lost the overview about all the ads that were created inside of it, and I made some stupid decisions based on the data that it provided.
That makes
I canceled. I stopped campaigns that were really profitable, which I only saw when I logged into the normal ad manager in Facebook. Said, oh, what the hell? Why did I stop it? It's good, and I scaled it up.
But sometimes they have some issues with the data coming through and it takes time. So last week, I think, or earlier this week, there was like 48 or 70 hours where the data wasn't there. And I've seen that a couple of times where it's slow to come through, but if you give time, then it'll go through.
Yeah, the things like the ROI calculation, which is really calculated, just insane. When they're going to, they have changed the schedule for that. They calculate the ROI off of income generated from every event, like an add to cart event. Someone might add 100 to cart. It doesn't get checked out, but it goes into total revenue, and you always calculate total revenue, which is revenue you never got. There's an add to cart that wasn't. It's just insane that they do it, but they're going to change that. That I found very helpful. Other than that, it's good. Yeah, go for it.
Product duplicated ads, do you retain your likes and shares and all that?
If you duplicate an ad,
no.
Yeah.
I do it in that also with a campaign, I keep all the.
No, in ads question, you duplicate.
Yeah, but if I think when I went in Ad Manager, it erased all the social proof, I duplicate the exit.
Yeah, if you
I haven't tried the
duplicate.
power editor.
Duplicate, but it depends on what you are duplicating. If it's a link ad, it will create a new post. If it's a page post ad, an existing post ad, it will duplicate the volumes. It will go to the same post, page post. It depends, I think, if I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because on my first winning product, I just went into the basic Ads Manager and was just duplicating, changing the audience.
You created the link ads.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, I did that too. Yeah. And then I learned it the hard way. Then I suddenly saw 7-8 posts.
And then when you do your comment monitoring, you have to click every one because everything's a different post. So there'll be a comment on this one. It looks identical to all your other ads, but you still have to check which one.
Right. Yeah, I started going all post ads.
It
for the most part.
because I had negative feedback.
So anybody else have anything else they want to contribute to audience selection or audience testing?
I don't know if this would work, but I noticed when I see an ad from another store that's doing really well, it has a lot of likes and shares and comments. I noticed a lot of people who comment don't have their privacy settings set, so you can go in and see what they like. I mean, with thousands of comments and shares and likes, would there be an easy way to get all that data and say, you know, 500 of those people like this page or this interest?
So essentially what you're trying to do is reverse engineer the interest they're targeting.
Yes.
That would be some cool software.
It's
interesting.
Or you
Can I just ask one more question? So just link ads versus post ads. Who does what? Who does link ads?
I go primarily post now because I don't want to lose all the social proof.
So who does post?
Who does post ads?
Post ads.
Who does link ads?
Link ads, yeah, we do link ads.
I prefer mine to be dark posts, that's why I do the link ads.
It's the best way to stay away from the competition.
What is dark post?
Link ad.
You don't show on your.
It's where it doesn't show up on your
You
timeline.
can.
Oh, okay.
Brent.
Because with post
Brent.
ads, your competition now is your best friend.
Yeah, right.
You can still do a dark post as a page post as well.
But if you go to and click photos, it will show up.
To do that, you can just make it not show on your
In
Facebook.
the Power Editor, you create a post, and there's a little plus, and that will do it as a dark post. It creates a page post that isn't displayed.
Yeah, that's good.
Brent.
All right. I don't want to stymie a conversation, but I want to hear what people are saying. So.
It's not loud enough, and there's two accents. That's tough.
Yes, if you hide your post, it will affect your. I haven't noticed something
No,
like
it
that.
doesn't. But then, as Michael says, you can go to your images, and then your competition can find that out. I mean, when I found that, somebody in 100K Factory kind of copied the entire website. Now I don't do that anymore. Because earlier I was putting in, so obviously he knew what my winners were. Right. I mean, the guy found out from my timeline. So tried hiding it from timeline. But then you go to the images and you can find out all the comments and stuff. So I don't do that anymore. So I went back to dark posts. So, yes.
That's pretty much what everybody does, it seems like. Dark posts. Oh, you did?
No, I don't do dark posts.
No, I don't do dark posts.
Okay. I do a page post ad in the timeline. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just throw it, yeah.
Anyone here selling on Pinterest?
Yeah, we've tried.
I can sell on Pinterest. It's not available in Portugal, but I heard some people are very successful with that.
You guys are doing Pinterest.
Yeah, so what we did is completely off topic, and so I know that. So it's just what I did is I simply took a campaign on Pinterest. I ran it for $150 for 2 different items, each. I got a bunch of social engagement to that thing, and it was like posted and pinned or whatever they call that thing on Pinterest. And now I have there's 3 or 4 products on one of our sites that I don't spend a dime on anymore that probably sell, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of between 15 and 20 units a week. And I don't spend any money on them at all whatsoever. It's just, it's almost a nuisance because it's just kind of like, oh crap, I forgot to go check that. Because it's a completely different site than I use for my main stuff. So, but that's how I did it.
And that's 15, 20 per week are just all coming from the Pinterest strategy.
100% organic. I never spent a dime. Yeah. Pin my thing, and keep in mind it's more of a low priced item. It's like basically I'm almost at cost with it. But I did charge the shipping, so that I make my money on the shipping only, and that's why people pick it up. So.
Just another question. On the training, the 100K Ultra training, the actual ads, picture, text, red arrow, red frame. Is there many people still doing that, or have they moved on, or what are people finding success with?
Who's still using the red arrow text?
Oh, really? Wow.
I use the blue arrow text. So it's completely different. Totally different strategy. You're a rebel.
I sometimes I just don't put the price there because I want to be free to change the price whenever I want. And in the past, because I run a lot of ad sets, and I was changing the price, I was screwing things up because I changed the price and then I forget to change the ads and people start complaining, but you say it's this price. So now I don't put prices anywhere. I put the percentage. I don't put price. Sometimes people go, oh, but the percentage doesn't match. Forget that.
Yeah. We're bad at math. Just say that. We're bad.
One interesting point. You were talking about this though, and we've never tested this, but it would be kind of interesting. Let's say in the ad that you are suggesting that the price is $17.99, or you're saying 50% off, and then when they go to the site, the price is $15.99, or it's 60% off, which is your case. Would that dramatically increase conversions because people think they're getting away with something? We've never tested anything like that.
I tested that.
You tested
it? Certainly increased my conversions. I don't know why.
Well, I know why people think they're getting away with something.
Yeah. On the product page, you also say what the percentage off is as well?
Well, you can't.
Like from $99.99
I know, but what I'm asking is those who have done that,
have
it seems like you would need to because not everybody's going to get their calculator out and realize.
Right. No, agreed.
Okay, but you're saying 50% on the ad, 60% on the product page.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or just put a price
and then it was changed on the product.
Right.
But the ad still said 50%, right? So they went there and thought they were getting a better deal, right?
Yes.
So you did it on purpose?
Yes, I advertised the product for $8.94,
right?
And on the site it was $7.94
right.
on purpose, right. And it increases the sales. I just don't do that because I don't think in the long run, people are going to start to understand that something is not right here.
Well, if they think maybe they're going to come back the next day, it's going to be $8.94, right? Maybe they.
Well, maybe.
They think there's a bug.
I think it's just it's just not a conversion tactic that, frankly, we've ever really thought about. And it seems like it might be a little bit of a hidden gem here.
I mean, personally, if I saw it, I'd buy it. So I think I was getting away with something, you know.
Well, they're already happy. They're thinking they're getting 50% off.
And they think they are cheating on me. Yeah. Because you say, no, I know. These guys are selling this for 8. Oh, there's a mistake in their website. Let's take advantage of that.
Exactly.
You know, let's buy 2.
You know, I better not return it because
Right.
I got it for
And I'm going to tell all my friends before they notice the mistake and
And
change
you get
it.
a lot more add to carts because well, you get a lot more add to carts too because they want to see if you're charging shipping too, right?
Yeah.
And my whole site's free shipping.
Do you need to mention these prices in the ad?
No, you can't do that. And then you can always.
But if you mention the price,
still,
it's even better because it's more direct. You say, oh, this big sale, only today I'm selling this for $10, and then in the site it's $5. People go, oh, wow.
No, but it works. That's what
Is this true?
I went from, like I say, 2 to 4 sales to 21 the following day, right? When I did.
But you don't know if that was because you also changed the price. So you don't know if that was because of this little trick or.
But it was lower, but it still said 50% off, and I lowered it 10, so they thought they were getting 60% off.
Yeah. So listen, you don't have to convince me. I'm the one who started talking about it. I think it could be a conversion tactic. You know, I don't know. It's probably not.
On the work brand, people are going to start commenting on Facebook because, but it's always, I use a different tactic and that worked very well also, but I started getting lots of negative comments. I had a product that was at an amazing price, absolutely amazing price, but it was sold out.
Yeah.
It was I couldn't buy the product for that price, and so people is a waiting ad. People were clicking there, and they didn't buy the product because it was sold out. So they would buy other stuff. But after a while, they were starting to say, oh, "Why are you advertising a product that is sold out? It's always sold out."
You know, the other thing it might do is it might actually lower. It might have even greater impact. Let's say you're advertising a price of. Let's say you really want to sell something for $13.99, and you're advertising a price for $15. You're really pre-qualifying your clickers, right? In theory, you're getting more buying power for the same cost per click. Because those people were, in theory, willing to spend more. And then you're amping up your conversion rate by selling it for cheaper than what you said. It has the added benefit of also not being illegal, I don't think. Because it is technically not legal in the United States to always have a sale. Technically, nobody's really going to command it, but and I'm sure in Europe it's even worse. But technically, you're not supposed to always have something on sale. If it's a sale, if you say it's a sale, it's supposed to be a short period of time and a specific event, and you normally sell it at this price. But if you simply make a specific mistake to sell it cheaper than you're advertising for, nobody in the world is ever going to get in trouble for that, you know?
If your product page say today only an additional 10%, it's
you're not supposed to do that.
Huh?
You're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to.
Unless you
No.
really.
Unless it's true.
Yeah.
When it's not true. But again, having said that, it's, you know, the chances of anybody getting in trouble for that are, you know.
You could put a big red
Maybe
arrow.
not in the United States, but.
You could put a big red arrow on your website page saying mistake.
No, but you there in the website you can say only today. But once again, in the long run, that is not good business.
I just want some volunteers to test this out.
It's easy to test because you don't have to change the ad. Just lower
the price.
Yeah, and why not? And my theory is that your cost per click or your overall advertising cost will probably go down because you're pre-qualifying better people, and your conversion rate will go up. And those are good directions.
Nikos, when I spoke to you last week, you said that one of the things you always try to do is create an offer that someone can't refuse. It's just too good to be true. Do you do that with your pricing, or do you do it with the product?
No, I did it with my first product.
With the Facebook ads?
I did it for my first winning product.
Oh, okay.
So
I try to differentiate, to find something that, if it's something that has pieces, I will speak to my supplier and tell him, make me a version with less pieces so I can change the price. So, I try these things, and if I go the normal route, I find the winner that someone else sells. I can see the likes, the shares, and I see a profit margin that's good, and I start advertising it. But it has to be different, And I don't care about Amazon or stuff, because if you compete with Amazon, Amazon will win anyway. So we're doing something totally different. Yeah. And that's it. A little different, a little something that you won't find it anyway. If you find it anyway, why you should wait for 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Yeah, a lot of people do. Maybe we talk about product testing and go for a break.
Well, you know what? It's almost noon. So my suggestion is we go till about 12:20. We break for lunch, and then we just come back at 1:30. That gives people like 10 minutes, then an hour, and just eat lunch. We come back at 1:30, and then we just power through the rest.
Okay. Product testing. How many people are still testing a product for about $15? Who spends about $15 to test a product? Yeah. Just to test, to find some new winners.
I think it's anything you spend at least.
Or just like
order of magnitude,
roughly $15 to test.
Still even more.
I do it a bit different.
You do it because you test
But not only that. Even if it's not a winner, if it's not selling, I don't care how much I spend on that. I dropped the budget for $1 per day. But even if I'm not making any sense, if the CPM is low and the relevant score is an 8 or a 9 or a 10, I let it run indefinitely. Because the CPM is good, people like the ad because the relevant score is good, so it's a matter of time until until it starts performing. Let Facebook do the work for you, and Facebook will optimize and find the. I dropped the cost because we have to be money wise.
Yeah.
I dropped the cost to $1 per day, but I let it run indefinitely.
But Ricardo, have you found success there? Because I'm extremely merciless. I mean, $15 I stopped. Where I've seen relevant score 10, I was actually commenting.
If I have a relevant score of 10 and the CPM is not, it's $10, $12, I let it run. I don't stop it.
But no, has it worked in your place? The point
somewhere in time, it will start selling.
Okay, I go back and I had a couple of them.
But I dropped the cost to $1 per day because that way in 1 month I will spend $30. Not big deal.
Yeah. But when it starts selling, do you scale up? How do you, when it starts?
When it starts selling, I start scaling up, and the ones that I scale then cover the costs of the tests that I do.
Yeah.
So I always try to find as many buying audiences as possible at a lower cost, and then the ones that start selling, I start scaling, and the profit I make from those cover the costs of the tests I'm making.
Interesting.
I've been playing around with budget a bit, and so it's just trying to keep my testing budget down a little bit lower than it was. And so we've been running ours basically based on what I project my CPM to be. So I'm trying to get maybe 2 times my CPM. So meaning that if I want about 2,000 people to see that one particular ad per day. So and per like maybe like if I'm running it to Instagram and to mobile traffic, I'll obviously do the CPM to match. So basically I'm trying to get around 2,000 a day. And so I've been playing with that number quite a bit, and then and along the same line of thought that you have, if it's a relevancy score that's relatively high, and my click-through rate's really good, like say like 2.5 to 5%, which sometimes I get really good ones. I'll lower that budget down and just let it run to see how it goes. And I've had some really good luck with that, where like eventually it'll convert, you know, and then that's the one that, you know.
That's my thought, because I'm thinking, if people are clicking, the relevance score is good, the CPM is good, why am I going to kill this ad? I just haven't I haven't been lucky enough to make a sale, but it's going to happen sooner or later, because I have the clicks, I have the cost, it's like all the other ads. I have the relevance score, so it will be stupid for me. I'm not calling anyone stupid.
So if you call 5 times, if it's ads every time, you still know that eventually it's going to be tails. You know, and it's a population sample issue for the most part. But
Rob, when you started testing, if I remember correctly, you just kept testing one product, and it wasn't like a winner, but you kind of thought it might turn into a winner. I
was getting the clicks, yeah.
You're getting the clicks, you're getting the occasional conversion, but it definitely wasn't like a winner.
Yeah, and all of a sudden after testing different audiences, the sales just started coming in.
You kind of found the right combination?
Yeah. So what I do is now when I test a new product, I'll do like precising, I'll do 3 different ad sets. I'll do a precise, a broad combined with a broad, and a broad combined with precise. So I've got 3 different types. And then if it's...
When you say precise, are you meaning like
so
a very
small, below very 500,000, yeah. So they're really targeted.
Yeah.
So it's 3 different styles of ad sets around.
So you do a precise, a broad...
A broad combined with a broad, and a broad combined with the smaller interest to cover all the different... Sorry?
Same campaign.
Yep. So it covers the different sort of areas of people.
Yeah.
$10 on each ad set, and then I'll kill it if there's no sales. Just a day.
Oh, really? It's one day?
Yeah, so it's $30, and if it looks no good, no sales, I'll just kill it.
Because I find that, you know, some days you get sales, and other days, you know, that I would hate to hit an off day when it's really so I like to go like 2 or 3 days, but...
Statistics with it, I'll let it run again a bit longer. But if it's high and you know there's going to be no sales, you just kill it.
So do you kind of, if you get a hunch that something might be good, do you let it run like for days more?
Probably just another day, and I don't want to waste loads of money on it.
Yeah.
You can normally tell within that sort of money spent if it's gonna, or if you think it's gonna.
Yeah, that's good.
But you should get at least one sale if it's going to be a win over a couple of days with that money.
I let mine run for 5
days.
I find the CPM starts to go down after 3.
But what do you spend on your test if it runs for 5 days?
$5 each day.
$5 each day, 5 days.
Per ad set?
Per ad, yeah.
Just one ad set.
Well, usually, I don't test a lot at once. So.
It's almost like saying that money is different.
But I do find that, you know, after day 3 or 4, the CPM might start to come down. If it doesn't, day 5, I'll kill it.
I would like to talk a bit more about this. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is right or wrong. My results are not that great. I'm sure that there are other strategies that work well. But I have everything automated and based on numbers. Basically, what I do, as I already told, I test every audience I can find. I love big audiences. I have a winner that was selling like crazy in a 500 million audience. 500 million.
400 million what?
About 800 million.
Oh,
and my budget for that ad was $1,000 per day. But it lasts for 3 days, then stopped. Anyway, and what I do is I create one ad set with 10 ads, different products, not the same product, 10 different products that I know that they are my best-selling products normally. And then I duplicate that ad set for every audience I can find. not very small ones. I try to keep above the 100,000 members in the audience, but I can go to at the minimum 25,000. And then I let the ads run indefinitely. Normally I use a budget of $3 per day or $1 per day. It depends on the where I am that day. And then I use the automated rules that Facebook released recently. And if my average order is $35, and my average margin is 53%. So I know that I can buy a customer, I can buy a purchase up until $15, and I will not lose money. Actually, I still earn money because my shipping costs are not included in the Facebook campaigns, and also I have the AliExpress commission from being an affiliate, 8%. 8% in $10,000 I spend, I get $800. So that in itself, it's a business model. Yeah. But I try to keep it on the 3-to-1. So I try to keep my purchase below $10. But it depends on everyone. If I want to increase my mailing list, or if I want to get power to my pixel or whatever, I can increase the cost per purchase and let it run. Then what I do is I create a rule where I say, and it runs every day, it analyzes the last 3 days, and if in the last 3 days, if the cost per purchase is less than, right now I'm making it less than $15. If the cost per purchase is less than $15, increase 25%. And I create a second rule. If the cost per purchase is bigger than $20, decrease 25%. And why do I use the 25% in both cases? Because the 25% decrease is bigger than the 25% increase, because the budget is already higher. And it is going to, Facebook is automatically going to adjust my budget to make to the right buying price. When I increase the budget, the costs increase. I increase the budget, the costs increase. I hit a point where I decrease the budget, the cost will decrease, and Facebook is going to stabilize by itself. In the products that I'm making sales. The products where I'm not making sales, this does not work because the rule doesn't fire. I don't have a cost per purchase. So those I analyze once per week, the in loops of 7 days, and I see if, like I said before, if the relevance score is good, the click-through rate is good, and the CPM is good, I let the ad set keep running. If they are not, I stop it. And one more week and one more week, and let Facebook do the job. I always pay very close attention to the relevance score, and when it's 5 or below, I have to change something. And that's how I do it. It's everything is automated and is based on the numbers. So I know my order is $35, my average order is $35, my average margin is 53%, so I know that my cost per purchase must be $15, and I set the rules to adjust to that.
Can I ask something? Did you speak with your, you said you have a Facebook rep?
Yes.
Did you speak with him about the percentage that you're decreasing and increasing?
No.
Because it is said that is above 10%, maybe above 5%, it really resets your ad. So it's basically a luck that you're doing. It goes from here your ad set and goes there to a whole new group of people. It doesn't it doesn't scale. It doesn't stay there and getting more people so that you have a consistent. If you do it with 5% and 2% and 3%, it will be more steady. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I can try that. It's the same. It's the same principle.
Yeah, if you do that with small percentage below 10%.
And if you increase 5% every day, you soon will be scaling where you are going to make a lot of profit. So it's the same principle. Yes.
If you keep it below 10, it will be the same.
Yeah, I can try that.
You could go to an ad set that's $100, and it will be the same audience.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I had a very good Facebook rep, but the one I have now, it's not good.
They say 20%, 25%, it's above 20%. They say that the ad resets. We don't know really what's the percentage.
Okay. They say what? They say the ad, above 25% the ad.
If you increase the budget above 20 or 25%, it resets.
Resets.
It goes to another segment. They say that.
I think the theory is that makes sense. We just don't know what that actual number is.
Facebook tells them that.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's true.
I
But if it stays below 10, it's a safe bet.
I will adjust it to 10.
But it takes forever to reach a reasonable.
No, it's not.
If
Because you are increasing it every day.
But if I'm starting out with $5 per day, and I increase it by 10%, the next day it's $5.50.
It will scale.
Yeah, but you can have an ad set that's $25 that performs better than an ad set that's $100. It happens.
Yeah, because that has happened to me several times.
$1 is really
less money to scale up, make it profitable.
To me too. That's
above $10, $15, it's starting to change.
One thing I noticed, I don't know if Nico and other people, I talked with Nico because I know he has very big budgets on some ads. One thing I noticed, and I did some crazy stuff, like going from $50 per day in an ad to $500 per day in an ad. So I scaled it 10 times. And the cost increased, not a lot. It increased. It went from $10 per purchase to $20 per purchase. It doubled. But I was also getting better customers. My average customer spends $30, $50, and I was getting $300 sales, $200 sales. So I think that Facebook, when you start spending more money, Facebook knows the type of audience that is going to, it's more likely to spend more money on your ads. That's a perception.
How long did you leave it in 5,000? How long did you leave the budget there?
3 days.
3 days. Your ad was optimizing. You were over 25 purchases per day.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you said. I'm sorry.
You were making sales.
Yes.
More than 25 sales per day.
Okay.
So it was optimizing.
Yes.
So more than one variable.
That thing happens when one day you wake up and the $5,000 ad made 3 sales. You lost $3,000.
One thing I noticed is that when you put the money there, of course you need to have a budget. When I was starting, I couldn't possibly do that. But now, if I want to test a product and I put $100 per day in that in ads in that product, I am sure it's going to sell. I may lose money, but I am sure I'm going to make sales.
Why did you only leave it for 3 days if it was started making those kind of sales? It went down?
It went down.
So it was only good for 3 days.
I panicked and
Right.
It's a lot of money.
Well, I understand that. That's what you didn't say the sales went down. That's what I wanted to hear is the sales went down. So it was for lack of better terms, maybe a fluke. For 3 days.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's not.
Then why doesn't it stay?
I do this every month. I do something like that.
You might get better sales, but you have to be prepared one day to lose $3,000. The next day you might make 5.
So is the reason it stopped working is because you weren't making as many sales as it was?
I'm not sure because the relevance score also went down.
Okay. But it was the same ad. All you did was increase the budget.
I increased the budget for 3 days. It sold like crazy. It sold like crazy, and then it went down. I looked at the relevance score. The relevance score was a 5, so I had to stop it.
Right.
Is that a large audience?
And this was the audience with the 500 million. So I think it's a different game, but I think when we put money on those ads, they sell. Facebook finds people to buy them.
And because your point was, because I want to make sure I capture this accurately, your theory is I'm spending more money, so I'm getting a better customer, I'm getting a better experience with the Facebook advertising because Facebook sees I'm spending more money. Your theory is you spent more money, you got more traffic, you got more conversions. Because you got more conversions, the campaign is more highly optimized by Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is a...
So there's the two theories.
Say,
No, I got
he's a customer that I want to spend every day for $1,000. So we have to keep that customer, so we have to optimize his ad.
Yeah. But they did, because the sales went down and he dropped the price down.
Okay, you can't say that.
Can't do it in one day though. That's the problem.
Right, well that was my thing. Why after only, did you kill it after only?
Well, I mean, he said
$500 a day.
Yeah,
right.
you panic and
Right.
There is another interesting thing. I don't know if anyone of you, even you included, and Brett and me, had that experience. When I was spending a lot of money on Facebook, I mean a lot of money, my budget was about $1,000 per day. My Facebook rep told me, probably next month, you are going to change rep, you are going to our
Premier,
to our big accounts. I don't know if that helps or not.
Where are you from?
Portugal. It didn't happen because I scaled down, but I was curious to see what else they have, what they have more to offer.
They did it to me also, and she didn't let me. She was like, I have good news. I managed to to keep you here with me.
Yeah, well, that's probably the best because
I mean,
I think everybody's experience has been, you get good ones, no matter if they're, the ones that are at level 1 or level 5, and then you get ones that are worthless.
Yes,
or all they care about is
my
Facebook.
first one was good. My second one was not bad. The one they gave me now, it's a disaster. It's a completely disaster. I should do exactly the opposite of what she tells me.
That's useful.
Yeah.
Where is it located?
In Portugal. They are in Portugal. Yes, they call me from Portugal.
They're all in Portugal.
How often do they call you?
Normally when I was using them, when I had the good ones, we scheduled at least one call per week, sometimes more.
Mine calls me once a month.
No, one time per week.
Yeah, do you get any value?
She's not too good.
They are good for something. For instance, if you have
well, you seem like you have a decent one.
Yes, she's trying.
Yeah.
But
but at least getting some.
She's trying to learn.
I've tried forever to get a Facebook rep. I guess it's just the United States you can't get one.
I had one for a while.
Yeah, well, we had one like when we first started. You can do that like on-ramp program for 30 days or whatever it was. But beyond that.
Yeah, mine was very good. My first one was very good because he told me things like, you know what, Ricardo, you should sell backpacks to war veterans. Okay, I'm going to sell backpacks to war veterans. And then he was telling me things like, I can't tell you what are the good audiences and what the audiences that sell, because it's not fair for the competition. But if you ask me, I can say you, yes, go there, or no, don't go there.
There must be tough to get in the US, because I got approached many times by different reps, and I speak to them and I feel like I'm speaking to some moron who doesn't know anything about Facebook.
I don't know. I mean, we do not only this, but we should ask Larry. We don't just do this for Facebook advertising. We also do a lot of lead gen on Facebook advertising. So we spend thousands of dollars a day on Facebook advertising. And I don't know that anybody's ever called us. I mean, maybe they call Larry.
They can understand on the list.
They might have called the Irishman. We have our own Irishman.
They're paying Larry.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We have our own Irishman. Maybe they're down at the pub.
They compare the spending according to the country. You know, from a guy who spends about $1,000 in India. Oh my God!
I would think even in the U.S. for a few $1,000s a day, we'd get a call.
Yeah.
Somebody to say, "Hey, how you doing?" I never got called by Google either when I was spending $1,000s a day, except to say, "We don't want your business anymore."
Yeah.
That was the first call I got.
I requested one like probably a half dozen times. Be like, yeah,
We'll get back to you.
Google call goes all the way. Google call goes.
We've got Larry. We can ask Larry. He's probably getting all these calls and he's saying, "I don't want you to hear idiots." Idiots. I don't.
The only good thing is that for your account, for your campaign, it's nothing else. They don't have any useful information. All they say is what they tell them to say. Which is always like do carousel, do the same thing. Whenever I do what she tells me, it doesn't work. I started doing that 5 months ago.
Which is handy.
But because you're getting interesting information, like the negative, like understanding.
Yeah, because I try. What tools? I asked her, what tools do you have? What can you see in my account?
Yeah,
she was telling me all these things. Do carousel and do that and do.
I'm gonna call Mika.
And now she was like, we should talk every day.
I'm sure you can hook it up.
We should talk every day. I'm like, you know, I have work to do and things like that. And
she likes it.
She likes it. Maybe.
All right, guys. You know what? It's 12:20. So why don't we break until 1:30?